the best tasting radio show in all of South Louisiana. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku. Here we talk about all the food happenings around Acadiana. If you like food, tune in. You might learn something new. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am super tired. I just got back in from Austin, Texas about an hour, maybe 2 hours ago, and took a nap and headed on over to the station. So it might be kind of dragging on tonight's show. We do have Paul Credo and Tony Den with Pour. They are in the studio, and we are all watching football because it's the playoffs. Who are you guys hoping wins this round?
Everybody is hoping for Pittsburgh to win.
Pittsburgh? Okay. So it's Pittsburgh and Falcons.
Hashtag David.
Yeah, maybe Pittsburgh and the Falcons. I don't want Tom Brady to get another ring.
Oh, yeah?
Really.
I just hope Tom Brady gets broken.
Okay. And I'm like,
I really don't want Atlanta to win either.
When y'all ask for the football game to be on, because, we try to be accommodating to our guests. Like, we're stepping things up now. We have football playing. I brought you guys beer.
Yeah.
We're getting fancy.
I'm drinking Tony's.
On the show. I thought it was the Super Bowl because I don't follow football at all.
I mean, this is our Super Bowl.
Yeah. The playoffs is...
Yep.
No, I mean, just for tonight, we're just going to say it's a Super Bowl.
It's a Super Bowl. We're having a Super Bowl party.
I'm sure this is going to be better than any game that Atlanta's going to play in the big game. So, yeah, my Super Bowl.
So we are drinking Shiner Cold Brew Coffee Ale because I just got back from Texas, so I wanted to get some beers from there. It's pretty good. It's Rev Coffee Stout still holds my heart.
It's not bad, and like I was saying earlier, the more and more I drink it, the more and more it tastes like coffee, but it still doesn't beat the birthday brew from a couple years ago. The chocolate stout that Shiner had, that was wonderful.
Chocolate stouts are just good in general.
Yeah, but this one was better than most. I love stouts, and my girlfriend, she really, really loves stouts, but this stuff was fantastic.
It's very mellow. It's not... I've had some coffee stouts where it kind of punches you in the face, and this one is super, super mellow.
Yeah, this is good, but I'd rather just like Irish coffee.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
So I'm off Whole30. I went off of it this Friday for the trip to Austin, and good things and bad things. I cannot really eat super fast food, gross food, because it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. I'm having trouble stomaching regular bacon, which is terrifying to me. So far, the 2 times that I've had bacon, it was really salty and greasy tasting. During the diet, I was eating, it wasn't even really bacon. It was pork shoulder, and it was uncured, sugar-free. And I described it as tasting like Spam with no salt is what it tasted like. And now I'm kind of terrified that that's the kind of bacon that I'm going to have to eat from now on.
I'd rather die than not eat bacon.
Well, we had a conversation about a dish that you made this week, and we'll talk about that a little later. But I was quizzing you, did you put sugar in the sauce? And then you said, and I said, did you put butter? And you were like, yeah. And I said, ooh, I can't have butter. And you said, I'd rather die.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, butter is life. Butter is so good for you in every way. It's full of good saturated fats. People spend their entire life eating margarine. I can't believe it's not butter. And that is basically poison for your whole body.
Have you had... So I can have clarified butter on the diet, and that's what I've been having. Yeah. And it's pretty good. You don't get the creaminess of the butter.
You lose a lot of the fats out of it. And I mean, clarified butter is fine because it's still technically butter.
Right.
It's better for you than eating trans fat laden. I
can't
believe it's not
and you
butter
can't eat that on the
stuff.
diet either. It's all about full fats. You can have lard, you can have animal fats.
But if I was on that same diet, I would totally still eat butter, and I would just do everything else. I'd be look, I can be fine eating a little bit of butter.
So I'm thinking maybe I can try some uncured bacon. Maybe not necessarily the pork shoulder without the sugar added to it, but maybe uncured, and it to kind of ease maybe better quality bacon.
Belly?
Yeah, or pork belly.
That'd be fine. It's not gonna. It would taste how you season it. It wouldn't have that straight up bacon taste, but even if you're eating stuff that's uncured, if the richness of it and the fat and everything that might affect you a little bit, but
I think it's the quality of the bacon, the two kinds that I had tried, and they weren't the best quality of bacons.
Yeah, and I mean, well, when you're buying like a lot of store-bought bacon, it's not just like whenever like you go get, you know, home cured stuff, like if you come like to my restaurant or like go to Bread and Circus or Dark Roux, anybody that's making like their own bacon and whatnot, it's stuff that's made with care, and it doesn't have like any of the other crap that's in it that's in other places. When you start buying a lot of stuff off the shelves, there's no telling what's in it. Like they have other chemicals and preservatives and other stuff like that can affect your body, and then you start buying like lower quality products, and that alone is going to change the game on like what you're eating and flavors and everything.
Right. So I think that I'm just going to find a better quality bacon and see, because that's kind of upsetting to me, like to not be able to eat bacon. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
The other thing was I ate Shake Shack. That was my first meal, really, after Whole30. And it was good. Like, it lived up to the hype. I was a little worried that it was going to be a little disappointing because of all the hype around it, but it was pretty good. Really decent fast food burger. Loved the bun, and the patties cooked to order. You can tell that it's made, like they hand make it. It's really good. The fries, though, were the star of the meal. They were crinkle cut, in-house made fries. Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've always wondered like how you do like crinkle cuts, like waffle fries and stuff.
I'm
like
sure
that.
They have like a press that
I have
through.
I have theories on it. I never like looked it up or anything like that. I was just like, I just always assumed it was like magic.
It was magic. They just cast a spell, and it's like, poof, crinkle cut.
Sprinkle some like little pixie dust on it, and boom, waffle fries.
So I got cheese.
It's better that you don't know then.
Right.
So I got cheese fries, and okay, so this is my theory.
Like Velveeta cheese fries?
No.
Like gas station style, because that's where it's at.
Okay,
I'll be the first to say
that's
it.
what I was about to ask. Are you actual shredded cheese on your cheese fries or cheese sauce?
Well, okay. Cheese sauce, if you make it, like, don't buy like the canned cheese, like Cisco cheese and stuff like that. That's all weird. But like, if you took like Velveeta and made like a queso dip or something like that, that's where it's at. Or like American cheese. Like, if you start using like cheddars and stuff like that, it has a lot of oil in it. So whenever you melt it, it wants to become greasy. And like in my personal experience with cheese fries, like you need it to be creamy, gooey goodness. And like when you bite into it, like you have to like drink like a half a cup of water to get all the cheese out of your mouth because it's like that thick
coating of the
creamy
cheese.
and lovely. Yeah.
Tony, what is your theory? Shredded cheese or cheese sauce?
I like cheese
fries.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like melted cheddar.
Yeah.
Like I just like having it when it's like hot and fresh, and it just kind of
just have it like that way.
Pull apart.
So they had cheese sauce, but they had two kinds. So they had an American, I think it was a Monterey mix, and then they had aged white cheddar. So I got the aged white cheddar.
Fancy.
And it was pretty good. I would say. Okay, but let me take this further. So if you're getting chili cheese fries, do you still want the cheese sauce or do you want the shredded cheese then?
All right, if I'm getting chili cheese fries, I want shredded cheese.
Me too. And Tony, same thing?
I'm the same way.
My theory is then it becomes a hot mess and it's like just too messy.
Well, like when you have like the shredded cheese on your chili, you still have a lot of like the actual chili separated from it, and you end up with like the cheese flavoring. When you start mixing in the sauce, it wants to bleed into the chili, and it basically becomes
a chili con queso.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're on the same page with that. Then the milkshake that I got with it, the first sip of it was like angels singing to the choir because I haven't had sugar in 20 days.
Right.
And it just like hit me like I'm sure drugs would be, like just that boom. But I couldn't.
That's a hell of a milkshake.
Yeah.
That's a serious
That's
milkshake.
a $5 milkshake right there.
Dang, $5.
$5 milkshake.
Find some $5.
You need to be paying that milkshake more.
But I couldn't drink the whole thing because it was too much sugar. And I did kind of feel sick after the meal.
Did it have whipped cream and a cherry?
It had whipped cream. It had no cherry because it was a mint chocolate chip.
It doesn't matter. Every shake should come with a cherry. That's
I disagree.
And sprinkles.
Shenanigans.
That's an ice cream.
Okay, see, I wouldn't. Sprinkles
is a little over the top.
Sprinkles on donuts or in cupcakes.
Hold
Yeah.
your tongue.
Leave
Sprinkles.
them out of my milkshake.
Okay, we are going to take our first break on that note. And when we come back, we have more with Tony and Paul. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Boudin to the best burgers Acadiana has to offer. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, and Paul Credo and Tony Den with Pour are joining as guest co-hosts tonight. Shout out to my dad for getting the $5 milkshake reference for Pulp Fiction.
Right.
He texted me about that, and there was a request put in for chili cheese fries for dinner. So I don't know if that's
Tony, give me your best twist. We
Can
even
you
put
can
the
you
song
dance?
on.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, he's a tiny dancer. Nobody dances like Tony.
Really?
Man, you can't
Oh, yeah.
say that. That should stay at Charlie G's. What I told you about that.
He's got moves like you wouldn't believe.
All
like,
of the secrets coming out.
Oh, man.
Okay,
have no
speaking of,
idea.
it's the first of the year. A lot of restaurants have put out healthy dining entrees. You guys have had a special that you have been running that's been selling pretty well. You want to talk about that a little
I did it
bit?
by accident. So I got a bunch of center cut pork loins in with like the bone still attached, and I was Frenching them, and I was going to sous vide them and run a special with that, which I'm running next week. We can get to that later, but I had a bunch of leftover meat and stuff, and I was like, I'm just going to make this like ragu and just roll with that, and we'll just see what's happening. And like I'm talking, I came up with it in about like 5 minutes, like while I was breaking down the pork, and so I started cooking down all kinds of vegetables, tomatoes, and everything, and I made a traditional like Neapolitan-style ragu, which is like slow-cooked everything over a long period of time. And I took the meat. It was just like a bunch of like rib meat from like Frenching and everything, and I just kind of just let that cook down, started adding it all in. Then I took it out of the pan that I had it cooking in, started chopping it up on the table, added that into the sauce, and then I decided that I was going to do zucchini noodles rather than traditional noodles because they're kind of a thing now and people enjoy it. And like they're actually really good. So I started shaving them down, salting them a little bit to make them a little bit more flexible and like be able to handle being cooked in the sauce. And it's just like a small little appetizer portion for like $8. You get your money's worth out of it. It's incredible. And people have just been like losing their minds over it.
So people doing low carb diet.
It's so simple.
And it's Whole30-ish because you did put butter in it, but it doesn't have sugar.
Yeah, but butter's so good for you.
Okay, but on Whole30 you cannot have dairy. So
I know, but why can't we just have Whole29 and just be happy?
so I'm just gonna say it's Whole30-ish. So if you're kind of doing the low carb Whole30-ish thing, you know, you can definitely have that.
I could always lie and say there's no butter in it. You would never know.
See, no, that's bad.
You see,
because that's why people that are doing special diets don't want to go and eat out.
Well, yeah.
Because we have to trust
Well, like
that y'all aren't lying to
especially,
us.
I mean, like most restaurants you go to, like they have like vegetarian options with like chicken stock in it, and like they just kind of just like they'll never know. I mean, we don't do anything like that, but it does happen. And if anybody asks me, I'll tell them exactly what's in it. And if you have an allergy and it's something that doesn't exist, believe me, I will go talk to you about it and tell you that it doesn't exist.
This is true.
When Kyle came on the show, he was talking about if you call ahead, like he'll kind of help. And you've mentioned that before,
yeah, I mean,
too.
it makes it easier for us rather than like letting us do something on the fly and then we just put something together. If you give us time, we will give you something wonderful.
So
that's going to fit like whatever your dietary restriction may be, whether it's an actual allergy or if it's just made up or if it's an actual diet or anything like that. But you give us time to do it, we can give you something fantastic. If you give it to us on the fly, you're still going to get something probably pretty good, but it won't be as well thought out as it could have been.
Right. Okay, so you helped me debone my turkeys for the holidays.
I did. And it looked good on the old Instagram.
I have never been so proud of a meal before in my life. Like, it just came out flawlessly. And I remember you taught me, and now I don't remember at all. So I feel like I'm going to need more lessons to be able
just practice
to do this. But you put on, because you've mentioned before on the show that you like to listen to death metal in the kitchen, and you put it on.
Oh, yeah, we were listening to Pig Destroyer. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was almost having an anxiety attack from the music.
It's just easy.
But I didn't say anything because I was wanting to
learn.
learn.
The hard of hearing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I was proud because I had broke the turkey down and made it to completion, and it made a beautiful product.
Yeah, no, it looked wonderful. That was great.
So I'm gonna need some more breaking down of poultry lessons.
Whenever I get a case of chickens in, I'll show you how to break down chickens. We can race if you want.
No, I don't
you don't
want
want
to
to
race.
do that.
I don't want to race.
I saw the little video on the Serious Eats where like they had a guy break down a chicken in 30 seconds. I could beat him.
You
Yeah.
could.
Oh yeah,
Got me called out for
guaranteed.
that. Thank you, Ed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to trust you on that, but I do not want to race. Like, I want to do it really slow so I can make sure. I remember I was having problems you would just like go through the bone so easily, and I'm like trying to break the bone.
Yeah, I mean, when you do it enough, like you learn where the joints are, so you can just like slice right through it. And me, I just so happen to have like an insane amount of practice cutting joints with a knife, so it's like second nature.
There needs to be more classes like that, like hands-on, like butchering classes.
If anybody wants to give me some money, I will start a school.
Okay, let's put that out there. And if you're interested, you can contact Paul Credo. And because I think this is a good thing. I've really enjoyed it. And like I said, I was proud because I had done it from the whole point. Okay, so Zorba's Euros and More opened last week, and they opened off a Pinhook in what used to be a Subway location. And I found out yesterday that it is the former owners of Great American Steak in the mall. Being someone that works in the mall and has to eat at the mall quite frequently, I ate there all the time because it was the better place to eat in the mall.
If I was at the mall and I needed to eat something right there, I always went
So
there.
now they're at Zorba's, and they have gyros, they have hamburgers, and then they have potatoes. And I know their potatoes are going to be awesome because I know how they were in the mall. And they have Philly cheesesteaks too, but it's with the gyro meat.
Right.
Is how they make theirs. But I'm excited for them.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking for a new Lebanese Greek type place.
Mm-hmm. Right, because we don't have enough in Lafayette.
Right. Well, I mean, we have a lot. It's just some are a lot better than others.
Yeah.
We'll just
I agree
call
with
it like
that. But I'm excited for them. And then the people that bought Great American Steak in the mall are supposed to be putting like po' boys on the menu there, and they're supposed to be doing breakfast. I think they have some things in the works with that menu, but it's pretty much still the same.
Right.
Too. But I'm excited for them, and I had a bunch of followers comment on it, and they said it was really good. So I'll have to go check it out.
I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
And it's really close to me, so yeah, we'll have to check it out. I noticed also this past week 2 Facebook posts from restaurants in their news feed, kind of taking jabs at chain restaurants in their food, like basically saying, you know, they're better than such and such restaurant.
Right.
What do you guys think about that? Being a locally owned restaurant,
personally. And I mean, I won't say a lot of people agree with me, but I'm going to say a lot of people agree with me. I feel as if Lafayette is polluted with chain restaurants. That being said, I'm not saying that all their food is bad or horrible or anything like that, but if you look at the ratio of chains and like other places that are like popping up, especially in the Costco area and everywhere else, it's taking a lot of room and business away from like the local places and people support it. I mean, we're in a town where for how many years did Olive Garden win Best Italian? When they got like Anthony's, Marcello's, other stuff.
Bread and Circus is now serving like authentic Sicilian
Right.
Mediterranean food, like straight out of his grandma's kitchen.
But it's like I said, like in a lot of places the food isn't like it. I won't say it's wonderful, but it's not terrible. I mean, like there's a few places where like people praise it up and down, and it was just horrible. But it makes it harder for, you know, people to really, really get out because these chain restaurants and everything, they don't have as much of a cost as like your average Joe opening up a restaurant because they have an entire company with possibly hundreds of stores backing them. So they can afford to, you know, cut costs and like take all these hits and everything like that and then really not affect them. Or they just end up like losing quality, and people are so used to paying for cheap food that when you get quality product and it is a little bit more expensive, they don't want to pay for it, or they look at the price and they automatically get a bad taste in their mouth. And they feel like if they're going to pay a little bit extra, it might as well be like made out of gold.
right? Do you have something?
I just feel like all their food is pretty much just, it's all the same generic food that everybody serves. Like, there's no variety.
Mass-produced mediocre food versus something that's well thought out. And like, don't get me wrong, for it to be a chain, the original restaurants, I'm sure they were fantastic because you can't spread like that across the country, let alone the world, and not be good to start with. Like, you're not going to have, you know, bad food and be able to spread and people are going to buy into it. So I'm sure like in the beginning it was wonderful, but with a lot of places that are growing and constantly, you know, spreading out new stores and new restaurants and everything else and trying to grow as fast as possible, they will sacrifice the quality of their food just to make an extra dollar or to keep those dollars rolling.
But there are good chains out there.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, there are.
right.
But it's like it's a matter of time before they start to sacrifice quality. And like I've seen it firsthand because I grew up in a corporate restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked in restaurants where like it used to be scratch kitchens and it was wonderful food. Then over time they started doing speed scratch stuff where it's like partially pre-made stuff in a factory, and they start getting lesser products because it's saving the company as like where it might not save your restaurant, pennies on a dollar, but the company as a whole, it'll save millions of dollars over the time of a year. But it's sacrificing well thought out quality products for inferior food just to cut costs and to make like a little bit more money so they can vomit out as many stores as they can in a given year.
See, and I'm going to say this year I've been making an effort more to cook at home. And so when I'm dining out, I kind of said to myself, like, it has to be a reason why I'm dining out.
Right.
Like I'm like, haven't been there before. It's a special occasion or whatever. Trying to cook more at home, or if it's something I can't cook well at home, like I've talked about steaks before. I'm really bad at, I still can't grill a good steak. But so I haven't really been dining out a lot in town lately, but I will say that on the occasions when we have the kids and a family of 5 going out to eat as opposed to 2 people, it's a little more difficult. Some of those chain restaurants have really nice specials, and yeah, the food may not be great, and I think it's not great, but I can feed my family of 5.
Yeah, it's
at a better price point
on the pocketbooks and everything. It's just like that's fine and everything. Like I'm not knocking chain restaurants to the point where like there should be no chain restaurants and like no one should ever accept it. But at the rate that they come in, we're in this industry to feed people. Bottom line,
right?
Like we don't cook for a living just to do this for no reason. Like we're in the business of feeding people, and everyone should be fed. And at any restaurant, doesn't matter where you go, everyone should be able to walk in and get a meal for a decent price. But I don't believe any restaurant should sacrifice quality of food for any reason. If you need to make stuff cheaper to handle your people, don't buy products that are crazy expensive that are hard to get.
Right.
Buy stuff that's a little bit more cost effective, but not necessarily something that's full of all of these chemicals and everything else, like stuff that's just really not good for you. Or just to have something that's so dumbed down that basically monkeys can cook it. So you have people cooking your food that really don't know what they're doing, let alone care. And that separates a lot of us from like most people that do this for a living on a day-to-day basis. It's a career for us. It's not just like something that we do. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. Like we wake up and live and breathe food. But for a lot of people, it's a job. They don't care about it. They're just looking for a check.
Right.
And I mean, granted, we all are looking for money and we need to survive, but the passion isn't there. And like that really can change the game in your restaurant. If you walked into a chain and you had somebody that was incredibly passionate about it, they can make that food better if they're willing to listen.
All right, we are going to take another break, and when we come back, we have more with Paul and Tony. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
And now, we talk about food. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, and we've been talking with Paul Credo and Tony Den with Pour. Who is winning so far?
New England is winning.
New England is winning. Okay, so
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh just got a touchdown, though.
All right. So in case anyone is driving and is wondering what the score is.
You kicked like a million field goals last week. He misses this one.
Eater recently put out a fast food chicken nuggets ranked list, and also best dipping sauces. So before I tell you what first, second, and third place is, who has your favorite chicken nuggets? Paul.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Tony.
Also Chick-fil-A.
Okay. My boyfriend is obsessed with Wendy's, and so he would say Wendy's would be
spicy or regular.
Regular. Right. He likes the regular.
Those aren't bad.
So their list, Wendy's was number 1, and it was an even between spicy and regular. Like they said, both of them were good. The McDonald's chicken nuggets were second, and Chick-fil-A was number 3. I kind of feel like Chick-fil-A should be number 1 because I agree that their nuggets are
It's the
really
only
good.
ones that's made out of real chicken.
But I have a fondness for McDonald's nuggets. I like the coating that's probably made from plastic, but it's still
like
really good.
It's basically a tempura batter. I've actually
Is
watched.
it? Okay.
When I was younger, I saw how it's made on McDonald's chicken nuggets.
And they've actually started making the chicken nuggets with white meat, but I still like the dark meat better.
I mean, I much prefer dark meat chicken.
Yeah. I remember when Jamie Oliver had his show and he was like going into the schools in America and trying to get them to eat better, and he had made actual chicken nuggets like normal
chicken,
and the kids didn't like them, and then he showed them what all was in a McDonald's chicken nugget, and they still wanted the McDonald's chicken nugget.
Dude, when I was in school, like at that time, we were so lucky as far as like the cafeteria food that we had. I had like my Aunt Mildred and my Aunt Dot. It's like grandmothers just making straight up Cajun food every day, like from scratch, like nothing from a box or anything like that. It was just like going to your grandma's house every day. But you're at school. It was wonderful.
Yeah, my great grandmother was a lunch lady, and she's an amazing cook.
Every grandmother should be a lunch lady.
Yeah, right? Maybe we could. There's a restaurant actually in New York that hires grandmothers.
It's like a little, it has like people from all over the world that like work there, and like they have like certain days where they do stuff. Like that look cool. I did see a commercial today. Since we're talking on fast food, like Wendy's has the little 4 for $4 special. Burger King just started running the same thing for $3.99.
There you go. Bring by a penny. What's McDonald's gonna do? Probably nothing because they're champions of the world.
Right. They're like, we made food that doesn't rot. Do something.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't get the Wendy's nugget thing. Like I'm not a fan, and I really think Chick-fil-A nuggets should have been one. McDonald's is number 2. I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Okay, so then they also ranked dipping sauces. So what's your favorite dipping sauce, Paul?
If I get like chicken nuggets, I'd never get dipping sauce.
Really?
I swear to God.
That's part of what you love chicken nuggets for, because they're perfect dunking size.
I love chicken nuggets for chicken nuggets.
Okay, you're weird. Tony.
I'm like one of those people, if I order something.
You said barbecue sauce.
I did say barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce is like my ultimate. French fries, anything.
The barbecue sauce all the way?
Yep.
Okay, so I like the Chick-fil-A. It's just Chick-fil-A sauce is all it is. And it's like this mayo-y mustard sauce that I could slather on everything. It would be like your barbecue sauce. I could eat it with fries. Like I could eat it with everything. It was not even on the list because they said that it sucked so bad. They were like, no.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not.
The honey dipping sauce from McDonald's was number 1.
Now, I will say this. Like chicken tenders, like I'll get a sauce to dip them in or whatever. And I like honey mustard, but it has to be like a certain way, I guess. I don't know. Like I like it when I make it, but
do you like it more sweet, or do you like it to have more of the kick to it?
I like a little kick to it, but certain sweet ones are good. And where I grew up, we had this gas station called a Country Store in Erath, and they served an insane amount of chicken tenders. And the honey mustard they served with that was like the best thing in the world.
Did they make it there, or
they made it there?
Oh,
they made it there. And then we also had a Junior Food Mart, which is like the best gas station food in the world because it was open 24/7. So you could be up at like 3:30 in the morning, and like they were accommodating. Like me and my buddies would like order stuff just to like get crazy to see what they would do. Like order like 8 patties on one burger. They'd do it.
Really?
Like they would just do whatever you wanted. Like you told them something. If they had it, they did it. They did not care.
There's this guy called the Gas Station Gourmet, and he has a blog, and he just goes around and reviews gas stations food from all around the world, and he's from here, and I want to have him on the show to kind of talk about, because we have such good gas station food.
Yeah, I mean, that's like our version of street food is gas station food. Like this is the only place where like
good way to put it.
You can go to gas stations, get also like some of the best barbecue burgers you can think of, wonderful fried chicken, boudin all day long. Some places you can get crawfish and all kinds of other stuff, and it's not like going to like Walmart and buying crawfish. It's like some old cat in the back is like actually boiling crawfish, you know?
I was surprised by the amount of crawfish places that I saw in Texas between Houston and here.
Well, they have a lot of, like, you can crawfish in Texas. Like, they crawfish, you can hunt gators and all kinds of other stuff. Like, Louisiana isn't the only place where you get crawfish. It's just it's so abundant around here because all the rice fields and you got the basin. Like we're a haven, but crawfish are everywhere. Like there's places where crawfish are a nuisance.
Yeah.
And nobody eats them. Like you can get fined for like bringing live crawfish to like certain places up north because they destroy like certain crops and stuff. And I mean, and they can, but down here we eat them because, you know, we're from Louisiana. We eat everything.
They also had a lot of places that were serving boudin, but I was like, no.
Well, I wouldn't trust any
They had a lot of
boudin,
barbecue smokehouses, and they had served boudin as well.
Yeah.
And it was spelled correctly because there's some places in Texas that do not spell it correctly.
They spell it with an A.
Yeah, and it was properly spelled. So, and I'm always curious, but that curiosity gets the better of me sometimes.
Yeah, for the most part, I wouldn't trust any boudin that's not from Louisiana, let alone above like Ville Platte.
But I will say the barbecue places were so plentiful on and talking about gas stations too. Like a lot of barbecue places that were in gas stations. They had a lot of taqueries in gas stations, and I was like, I wish I would have had more time to eat. And I'm hoping to go back in September, and I'll get to check out
a gas station food road trip.
Yes,
like hit up like 50 gas stations in each state and see what's up.
That's why I'm gonna have that gas station gourmet on the show and talk to him about all the places that he's eaten.
Holla at him like, hey, bruh.
Yeah, he actually emailed me a few weeks ago because he was listening to the show, and so I was like, oh, I really want to talk to him and check that out.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I'll talk about gas station food all day. I used to live off that stuff.
Okay, so Tony, recently a pho restaurant in New Iberia put out a burrito, which was kind of a buzz on social media, and you were not about it.
Right, because to me it's a trend. Like they're gonna what's next? They're gonna start messing with like other like traditional things that don't need to be put in a burrito form. I just think it's kind of stupid.
So what did you feel the same way about the sushi burrito that we had?
I mean, it was cool when I heard about it. That I understand because it's an actual roll.
Okay.
And it's not done in a tortilla. Like it's just a giant sushi roll.
Right.
So like that I understand. But like putting something like that's meant to be a soup and turning it into like a bastard between like a French dip and, you know, something that doesn't need to be
in roll form.
Like the infamous gumbo burrito that Hunter made.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. That's just
There was a gumbo burrito.
We made gumbo, and one of our cooks took the gumbo with some meat and rice, and like he basically made like that McDonald's wrap or whatever it is.
No, it was the Popeyes snack wraps that they used to do over there.
But it was basically just like a little bit of gumbo juice, a bunch of rice and meat and stuff like that, and he rolled it up into like basically a burrito. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
There was a gumbo sushi before, too, that I've had, and it was kind of the same thing. And it had like the chicken and sausage in the middle. It was wrapped in rice, and then you dipped it in the roux.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure it's like that could be kind of good, but like Tony said, like when you think like pho, it's a soup. I can't imagine eating something without like all the broth. Like the broth is like the heavy hitter with that. It's like trying to make a ramen burrito without any broth.
Right. And you had some thoughts too a while back. There was a controversy over the pho and Bon Appetit. Or no, it was it ramen? I don't even remember now.
It was the cat who told people how to eat ramen.
Ramen, yeah.
Pho. It was
he compared it to pho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was also part of the problem with it. And you had some thoughts on that too.
I mean, I just think that because pho is something that's like it's meant to be, you know, for the person who's eating it. So like for, you know, a person who's, you know, from the way they made it sound, they were like they made him sound like he was telling people how to eat it. Like
you should be eating it this way.
Yeah, you should be eating it this way. And I don't think it's right for anybody to tell somebody how to eat their food, you know. And pho is like one of those things that you can mix and match. You can add as much as you want and make it taste to where it's suitable to you.
Now, I have heard numerous people say that you should taste the broth first, though, before you start adding stuff to it. What do you?
Right, but like, yeah, that's a given. But like, that's something natural though. Like, I think that's something natural that we all do because we taste it for seasoning.
Right.
But like, what people don't know is that pho is actually a northern dish and a northern dish in Vietnam. And what they did, their soup, they don't use condiments. Whenever it got adapted to the South, when people started taking it back into South Vietnam, that's when they started adding condiments to it. And that's where this one is, it's
That's what we're having.
Yeah,
now.
that's what most people are used to.
The evolution of food.
There you go.
And again, this pho is like it's a derivative from the French pot au feu, like
yeah.
That's where it came from.
Forget about it.
Nice.
Way to end that. We were learning stuff, and then you just like randomly.
Right. Well, see, now people are gonna remember it now because I'm like, man, he was saying all this stuff, and then the guy in the background was like, forget about it.
All right, we're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we have more with Paul and Tony. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPAL.
She puts the wow, yum into words. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie herself on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffany Deku, and we've been talking with Paul and Tony with Pour. They're talking about Bami Night that's happening soon. We're trying to convince
February 4th.
The boyfriend to bring the kids. I don't know if that's a proper environment for 3 small children. And that's pretty late. That's really past their bedtime.
It's Saturday. Come early.
They got cartoons the next day. They can sleep. And I mean, just think of it like this. If they come out late, then they might sleep later on Sunday, so y'all can sleep later. 2, the environment is fine. There's worse stuff on TV.
True.
Okay, we'll keep working on this. And on that note, you guys did ramen night a while back. So was there a winner of the ramen night, or were y'all all just doing y'all thing?
Miss Mary Patu, actually.
Yeah, Mary was the winner. She was going to be the winner no matter what.
Yeah, yep.
She sold out like twice.
3 times actually.
Oh,
she was on and off the board throughout the whole night. It was kind of.
Yeah, I made homemade ramen noodles, which started out really good, and by the end they did not hold up as well as I thought. But I didn't have a lot of room, so I couldn't like leave them floured. So like everything that I had was good. It's just like my noodles just like dropped off towards the end. It's depressing, but it's cool. Next time it happens, I'm not making noodles.
Do y'all think that Lafayette could have a ramen restaurant and it do well?
Yeah,
open I think that, like 5 days a week.
I mean, if they, yeah, I really. If they're open, I mean, like Saigon does wonderful, and like that's pho.
Yeah.
If you had ramen in the mix, I mean, you just got to convince people that it's going to be better than like top ramen, which is not hard to do. All you got to do is try it once.
Really, yeah. I mean, every time we've had those nights, we've done 2 within the last 2 years, and each night we sold out of everything.
I'm curious because I'm looking like what's next for Lafayette. And a lot of people have said, that they want a ramen restaurant. So I'm curious to see if it would be something that could be open 5 days a week, or if it'd have to be like a pop-up situation to kind of be successful.
Like if somebody started it off as like a pop-up situation and then opened something up after that, after it gained like a little bit more popularity, it would do incredible. But I think it would do fine on its own if someone who had a good product, who had a good broth, good noodles and everything, and they just started doing it, I think it would do well. I mean,
that would be something for the Food Hub incubator.
Yeah,
to kind of work on to somebody start ramen and go get over there and see how it takes off.
Yeah, I mean, Zach's got a good thing going on over there, and it's going to be wonderful to, especially for like people that are doing like farmers markets and other stuff like that. I just want to test out products. Like it's not that cost effective to even get in there, and Zach's very, very good, and like he has a lot of good systems in place, like to make sure that your product is protected on top of like giving you the space and time to get what you need to do and get it done and not break the bank at the same time.
I made my first ramen a while back, and it actually turned out pretty good. There were some things that I wanted to, change for next time. Mainly I messed up because I had bought instant ramen. Like I was just going to use the noodles and kind of throw away the seasoning mix. And I thought I had bought like the square normal ones, and these were like cup of ramen. So I had to sit there and like peel all of that off to kind of throw in there. And next time I will go and just buy ramen that they had aplenty at the Asian market, which I had bought it previously to
like
that.
$10 a case. They're like really cheap.
Like
Yeah.
good noodles too.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'll do next time. And then I put my collard greens in because I did collard green and deer meat one, like venison.
Ooh.
So I put them in like too soon. So that I let them cook like all day with the rest of the stuff. But the actual broth itself was really good. All I used was I had some leftover pork stock, and I put that in there, and it was pretty good. I was super proud of it.
The ramen that Tony did was good. Tony defied all odds and like broke down and rolled an insane amount of chickens.
10 chickens, 20 portions.
Like I'm talking like all night long, like just getting it. And the chicken was wonderful. It was good.
I sous vide it at 165 for about 9 hours.
I didn't get a chance to try the frog leg one that what was his name?
That Gabe had made, Bread and Circus.
I didn't get a chance to try that. I got lucky and got to try a little bit of Mary's before she sold out, which was wonderful. Mark's was good, and the one that I had, it wasn't bad. The stock that I had was good, but I used like the bones of an entire pig, and I cooked it for like 24 hours one day, then like another 24 hours another day. Then I had like burnt garlic and all kinds of other stuff, and the pork belly. The meatballs at Mark had were really good, but Mary's was just insane.
I wish that she would do something. Like she was at the market for a while, and she was serving stuff there, but for her to do like a little.
Speaking of which, that's it could be happening. I was just there at our house this morning. We could be starting something up in a little pop up. Now y'all mention it,
that'll be something to be on the lookout for.
What?
Yeah, that'll be something to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Mary pops up anywhere, like if she's cooking something, like you should go to war to get that food. Like,
she's the nicest person ever too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like she's all butterflies and rainbows. She's like.
She's mother to us all.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, like Jeremy Connor said in that little article, she's our little patriot saint. Like, I mean, if anybody ever said anything bad about her, she'd have like an entire community of chefs that would like be willing to like to break down walls to get to that person and like just end them right there.
Right. She's an amazing person.
I dare somebody to say something bad about her.
I don't think anyone would ever say anything.
I'd hit him with this mic that I'm holding right now.
It could be a good TV show, AMC, Walking Chefs.
Right.
Tony, since you've never been on this show before, what would be your death row meal?
My death row meal, if I had to do like anything for like the last time ever, there's a lot actually. I mean, I can say Miss Mary's gyoza for today that I've had today, because things are just retarded. Hot dogs? No, not hot dogs. I would probably want to have my mom's bun reel, and what bun reel is, it's pretty much it's a tomato broth with like it's crab and shrimp and pork with vermicelli noodles, and it's amazing.
It's delicious.
It's my favorite soup.
It's home.
Yes, it's home.
It's like comforting.
Yeah,
and everything. Yeah,
and that's how I would like to end myself. Just
why you don't bring me any of that?
I know, and I'm kind of like, ooh, I would like some of that.
Because you never asked.
I'm about to go holler at your mom, but like, Tony's mom, can you cook for me, please?
Well, she's listening, maybe.
She's listening?
I don't know.
If she is, Tony's mom, I love you. Cook for me one day, please.
What was the first restaurant that you worked in when you knew, like, this is what I want to do for my life?
My first restaurant, amazingly, I started working at a Chick-fil-A. But at that point...
That's why you like the nuggets so much.
I mean, I cooked them, so yeah. I don't know if I ever, like, at that point, I didn't know if I wanted to be a chef or not. I knew that I was, in that kitchen, I was cooking in some form. And then I was watching, like, Food Network a lot and learning from Emeril Lagasse and, whoever was on Mario Batali at that time. And then during high school, I started working at my uncle's store on Evangeline Thruway called John's Seafood. which is basically just fried fish.
My dad loved that place. They had the best fried rice. Like, it was like the best fried seafood and fried rice. Like, my dad loves that place.
Yeah, and
Fried rice is on point.
They're
Every
like
time.
they're the originals in Lafayette.
Yes.
Um,
So that's where it started.
yeah, that's where it all started from there. Like I immediately jumped to the lead fry. I was trying to keep up with, frying shrimp, frying fish. And that's where it all started. And from there I moved out to Baton Rouge and got a job at Ruth Chris and worked there for about 4 years.
How different was John Seafood Kitchen versus Ruth Chris? I mean, that's a totally different environments.
It's less short order because there's timing, because
Right.
like you learn very quickly that you have to get out food within like 6 minutes. So like within 20 minutes, there's a 20 minutes time frame, so you have to time everything perfectly. So that's, you can't just not, just drop when you hear numbers.
Right.
You have to keep up with ticket frames, keep yourself organized. There's steps to take before, the plate can hit the window.
Right. All right. Thank you both for coming on again. Tony, you'll have to come back with Paul again because this has been
No
fun.
doubt.
Yeah,
We've just been hanging out. That's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us next week at 6 p.m. This has been Tiffany Deku on News Talk 96.